Beyond Barriers, a podcast sharing heartfelt stories of tears, triumphs, and resilience in the world of parenting and supporting people with a disability. Join us as we go beyond barriers to celebrate the joys and navigate the hardships together. Hey guys, and welcome back to Beyond Barriers, the podcast, episode 5. Today we're going to be having a little bit of a different episode where we answer your questions that you've asked us on all of our socials. We've had a massive 2 weeks and we're really excited to cover what we've been up to.
Yeah, so we just wanted to kick this episode off with sort of touching base with what we've been doing. So obviously we've just had our spring camp. That was amazing. It was so busy. We went for 4 days. So we stayed in near Windsor, this place called Cornwallis. So big shout out to Anna. She let us stay in her beautiful place. So we did a lot of activities. On the Tuesday, we went to the fan day, which the kids loved. Super hot, but it was a really good day. Then we did jet skiing. A shout out to my mum, Beck. She came and did some bracelet making. But we had a really awesome time. It was our biggest camp yet that we've done. Yep. And it was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. We had over 25 participants supported and, being able to help out 20 plus families, I think that was quite incredible. And to hit that milestone of being able to provide that amount of support and overnight stays to all those kids and participants, I was just, I was really stoked with that. So
it was awesome. Yeah, it's funny. When you leave camp, it feels, it's like a feeling like no other. It's really euphoric. Like you are just so proud of everything that you've accomplished and all the kids had the most amazing time. Then you look back on the videos that we filmed and it's like little video diaries. So that was awesome to look back on once the dust had settled.
I think I really liked how we did that. So we kind of documented each day of what we got up to. Like the Tuesday we went to the Panthers fan day. On the Wednesday we played X golf. Pretty much what we did throughout those days. And Louis, who does all our video stuff on our socials, did a really good job putting that up every morning so the parents and the people who follow the page could watch that. So I thought that was quite cool. So to go back and watch that, like Indy said, it was quite euphoric. Like to go back and watch that after and see what we achieved, because at the time you're obviously working and everything's so fast paced. So to go back and watch that and see what we did and kind of brings a little bit of a tear to the eye. So it was quite cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then obviously, for any Panther fans out there, we've just won our 4th grand final.
I know. So exciting. Like, just to be a part of that and obviously watch what Indy's family has to do, day in, day out all year, and then get to that point and see their family really happy with that. It's just, it's quite incredible.
So that was amazing. So a funny story, actually, the morning of grand final, we had Sam, which is Carter's mum, on. She sent me a text and Carter's family are all para supporters, but obviously because of Jed and Nathan and my family and things like that, Jed always gives his Panthers training gear to Cardi. So she sends me a photo. He's in his training gear, like in his Panthers training gear, and they're like, "Go Panthers!" And I was like, "Oh, this is awesome."
I know. And we had little Zara, and she was saying, "Good luck, boys," in her little Panthers kit. And,
no, Zara goes, "Good luck, Indy's brother."
Oh, good luck, Indy's brother. That's so cute.
The only time I ever get that, but no, it was so cute. So yeah, we've obviously had a big kind of few days, really. We've only just kind of recovered now. So
yeah, I know, totally.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And obviously we're so proud of the boys and the community. And that kind of brings me on to another little community thing that I'm doing. So other than our choice, I also run a women's female networking group called Empower Her by Indy Cleary. So I'm actually hosting my first black tie gala. I'm proudly supporting the Haven Nepean Women's Shelter. So we'll be having that on the 29th of November this year. So that's next month, end of next month. Tickets are on sale now. So yeah, it's a beautiful black tie event, 3-course meal, beer and wine. Yvonne Sampson's emceeing it. We have Simone O'Brien. She's a domestic violence survivor speaking. We've got band, lots of fun. So we'll leave a link below as well. So if you guys can help out and purchase tickets and support the Haven, that would mean a lot. Obviously, Penrith has the 2nd highest reported domestic violence cases, and that's only reported in the whole of New South Wales. So yeah, it's about time we kind of get involved and do something to help our community out.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. Like that's what Beyond Barriers is about. Like not only are we breaking down barriers and going above and beyond for the community of people who have children or care for people with disabilities, but also relevant issues in the community, especially in the Penrith region. If we're the 2nd highest in New South Wales, then like something needs to be done. And I'm very proud of Indy for doing that, because it's such a relevant issue and it needs to be tackled. And by holding these galas and creating awareness and the speakers that Indy's got coming to the event, like something that you want to be a part of. And if you want to make change, then definitely, we'll put the link there for you to purchase a table and be there for the night. It'll be a good night, but also create such good awareness. So make sure that you jump on board with that, because that's doing a really good job for everyone in the community.
Oh, it's been really interesting kind of tackling that issue and helping. I think more than just funds, the Haven needs awareness as well. And I'm very proud to be able to help out with that. But obviously I wouldn't be able to do anything I do without the support of the community, and same as the Haven. So would be really grateful if all my beautiful friends that listen on here could purchase a table and come along and support.
Lovely. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, back to camp. On the second day, we went to the Panthers Fan Day, and we've been obviously putting in our socials asking for questions of what you guys would like to hear from us about what we do with Our Choice or Beyond Barriers, podcasting, like our support work. But we received a really cool message. It was more of a message rather than a question, and it said, "At the open training last week, as an onlooker, your team was dedicated and just wonderful." So like, to hear that feedback, I thought that was so awesome. Like, hence what we're doing now, to see that the community is watching that and getting around that. That's what we want to do. We want to create a stronger community, and it's really important, that we're achieving that in the disability sector. So I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, we were really excited about that. Sorry, I just fully jumped ahead from camp, but I also want to do a quick shout out to Gourmet Meat Company. They actually supplied all of our meat for the camp, which is amazing, and we're super grateful for that. So just a quick shout out to them. And any messages like that we get from the public, we are, it's so touching to hear, because obviously we do nothing for accolades. Like, we just enjoy our time, and we wouldn't even know that anyone's looking, to be honest. But to hear that you guys are enjoying watching the kids and us out and about is really fun. So
yeah, and just touching on that as well, we received a really, really touching letter from this podcast, which you don't really realize how many people it's reaching, and until you go out and get a coffee and someone says, "Oh, I love the podcast," which is so cool. But we received a really touching letter from a lovely lady in Queensland called Samantha. She sent us a letter saying, "Hi, Aiden, Indy, hope you're having a great week," and sent us a 3-page letter just touching on a bit about her life, and that she just wanted to say that, like, from watching Our Choice and being a follower of Our Choice, how much she feels like it's really turning a corner in the disability sector. So a massive shout out to her. I read it, and I obviously shed a little tear to know that what we're doing is affecting people not only in New South Wales but also reaching Queensland, and it's opening eyes and opening doors to what can be done. So thank you very much, Samantha, for that. So I just wanted to give you a little shout out for that.
That was epic, to be honest.
Yeah.
When we obviously we share the email, and we got that, and it was like a 3-page letter, and it was super amazing. Like, for someone to take the time to thank us, and like, we just want to thank people like that, because obviously they want to make a difference and a change, and if we can help inspire that, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. So now we're just going to jump on to the questions that we received. We received so many great questions. Thank you. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get through all of them, but we'll do our absolute very best.
Yeah,
we got some really cool questions. So
I think we picked 12. Did we?
We picked 12 questions. So 12 questions that we can answer to the best of our ability. And Indy's going to start us off with our first question.
I will kick us off. So Aiden, can you talk to us? Obviously, we had a fair few questions about support work and how you get into the line of that. Specifically, how did you get into the line of support work? I know we mentioned it briefly on the first episode, but obviously for any new listeners, can you tell us how you got started, and maybe a little bit of information on how other support workers can get started in the industry as well?
Yeah, so pretty much how I got into it. Obviously, I had a family friend who was involved with disability work, and I just started in group homes. So group homes are places where participants stay in 24-hour care, and they need workers there on a rotation 24/7. So I'd be rostered on, rostered off. I'd have quite big shifts. Like, it'd either be like 6 a.m. to like 2 p.m. or 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. and then stay the night. So I really started doing that. And then I thought that, there was a need for participants to be taken into the community. So then I started doing community access work, which led me to starting Our Choice. So that's how I got into it. Just looking at the need for being out into the community, and that's really the path I wanted to head into, like just supporting participants, out in the community.
Perfect. And a little bit of advice on how other support workers can get into the industry?
Yeah, so support workers can get into the industry to obviously, apply for as many jobs as you can. There's a lot of great services out there. Make sure that you have your Cert 3 in disability. That's a good background. If I see that when I'm employing someone and I know that they've done that, I know that they're ready to go. Nothing quite compares to getting experience, obviously. So maybe do some volunteer stuff. You need to have your first aid check, your police check, your working with children's check, your NDIS workers check, screening check, and that's about it. And a driver's license as well. You need to be able to get to and from work. And yeah, that's pretty much all the things that you need when starting up as a support worker.
Perfection. No, that's good to know. And we obviously got a lot of questions about support work, which is awesome because that means more people want to get into it, which is more help and more relief for families. So that's
yeah,
good
I feel
insight.
like support work is becoming increasingly popular. A lot of people are wanting to make a difference, and it's a great way to be able to do that. Not everyone can be a nurse or a doctor and change lives in that way, which they do an incredible job. But support work's another great way in being able to provide happiness for people who need your support.
Absolutely. So next question. This is actually from someone as well. Huge fan of the organisation and team. Can you share examples that demonstrate your services and have helped clients achieve greater independence and can improve quality of life over time? What steps have you taken to expand and enhance your offerings?
So pretty much that question's quite in depth, and the best way that I can answer that is
break it down for us.
I'll break it down for you. So huge fan of the organisation and team. Thank you very much for whoever wrote that. I really appreciate that. But can you share some examples that demonstrate your services have helped clients and achieve great independence? So by taking them into the community, and I think doing little things really helps that. So when we go to cafes, making them pay for their food, asking the people at the cafe, hey, I want to get a cappuccino with 1 sugar. That's creating independence. Saying, hey, Aiden, I need to go to the bathroom. Just little things like that. Asking questions and prompting them to do it themselves. So that is for me, that's a big thing. So little things that you wouldn't think, like me saying, hey, can you go and get that fork for yourself, when usually, say their mum and dad, or I'd usually, if I'm just, feeling extra generous, we'll grab their fork for them and just give it to them, making them do things that, we just do for ourselves, but they're always, being prompted. I think being prompted creates independence, and being told okay, you can do that for yourself, and not relying on me to do it for you as a support worker. So kind of taking that back seat and then allowing them to do that. So that's how I would be able to help them create independence and improving quality of life. I think staying active, especially, some of the participants that we have, by staying active, that improves their quality of life. So being healthy, not being limited to just, sitting at home or just going to the movies, or moving around, doing things, swimming, playing basketball, going to footy games, living life a bit more, moving. By doing that and coming out with us within the community, your step count would be insane. We're always doing things. We're not just doing one activity then home. It's one activity, then going to lunch, then lunch to another activity. So I think just by engaging within the community and engaging in social things, that just improves your quality of life in general. Your skills, your social skills, talking to people, your vocabulary, you learn a lot of things.
Yeah. I think also, obviously, when we talk about fitness and living a healthy lifestyle, that also gives the participants a sense of accomplishment, and to feel like you have purpose or you accomplish something. It gives you motivation to be someone.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we always try and encourage, how can we accomplish something that you've always wanted to, set goals, things like that.
Yeah. And the only way that we can expand that, there's not much you can do to expand that. The only thing is that myself and Indy and our support workers is be creative, think of new experiences for them, because that's the only way that you can enhance that. We're not doctors, we're not scientists. We don't understand how to change the world. Do you know what I mean? But however, all we can do is create new experiences, create new fun things, and make sure that they're constantly engaged. They're consistently always wanting to do new things and trying new things. That's the best way that we can enhance, the experience and pretty much what we're offering.
Yeah. Amazing.
So I've got the next question for you.
Hit me.
You are a businesswoman. and that's why I seriously enjoy working with you a lot.
I thought you were going to say that's why I was seriously attracted to you.
Well, I don't know if that was appropriate, but I can also.
I knew
I
that's
can
what
also.
you meant.
I can vouch for that, but I thought about what I was going to say. But
Sorry.
what I was going to say is that you are a businesswoman and you're very focused on your work. You work at Our Choice. You run Empower Her, Black Tie Gala coming up next month, link in bio. How do you balance work-life balance, and how do you balance your social life, as well as training and being fit and healthy and just doing everything, because you do a lot?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. And I could ask you the same as well, because obviously,
This is my question for you.
obviously being in this line of work, I mean, I'm quite an emotional person. I've said that before. So I think days, like whether they're good or bad days, affect me. So sometimes I'll take that into my home life, which isn't always a bad thing. It's a good thing. Like we say, all of our dinner conversations are about the kids, what we got up to, or how it makes us feel, which is actually, I'm really grateful for that, because it gives me a sense of understanding and compassion, which I love that it teaches me to be like that.
Yeah.
But in terms of juggling, I do find it hard sometimes to juggle Empower Her and Our Choice, but in a way I find it easier to juggle those two than when I did real estate and Empower Her.
Gotcha.
Reason for that is that obviously with Empower Her, it's about building community. It's about helping people, helping charities, building connections with other businesswomen or influential women or mums or anyone in our area, where I find Our Choice is a lot like that. So a lot of the things I bring into Our Choice, I'll bring into Empower Her. So I'm very grateful to have like purpose in every line of work that I do. With Empower Her, I have such a great vision for that, more so since I've been working at Our Choice.
Yeah, when you put it that way, like I obviously have thought about that, but yeah, they are quite similar.
Yeah.
Like you both want to, we both, and you work in both, which is cool. But like you do want to make a difference in both industries, so that's quite cool.
Yeah, and I find they go hand in hand. But to be fair, I'm a social butterfly, so I can find time for social time anytime. Like I don't struggle with that.
Straight after work.
Oh, literally. Like even if I've got my social battery does die off a little bit. It has now since I've gotten older, but I love a little drink and a good time. So
that's okay to admit. That's good.
No, but I mean, with my lines of work, I think it's important to be social in yourself and obviously, if you've had a tough day, take a minute to especially because we drive a lot. I take a minute to sit back and listen to a podcast or be in my feelings or have a cry to Aiden or have a cry to my mum. I communicate a lot about how I feel and that helps me kind of in a weird way differentiate work life, because it gives you time to express how you're feeling and then you can move on and do the next day.
Yeah, gotcha.
Or move on and do Empower Her work.
That's very well answered.
Thank you.
That's very well answered.
I hope that made sense.
See, the listeners out there, they're asking the good questions. I'll tell you that much. So
yeah.
No, that's
what
good.
about you? How do you think you handle that?
I think I balance it by just like making sure I'm busy. I think being busy is a really good thing, and just training, being healthy, eating good foods, making sure that I'm up early and don't go to bed too late. Just like little things, little life things. That's how I balance it.
I need to do that because I don't, and I'll have little sparks of doing it. But the one thing with Aiden, I will say, and this is why I think he is successful and he's very level-headed and he can manage things, is that he gets up early every day and that's his time. And he'll have an hour to himself at the gym and that's his favorite time of the day and it sets him up really nicely. And you never, that's a non-negotiable for you. You need to train. That's what you do. That's your alone time. And that's what gets you through the day.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important.
And balance is important and it's hard to find. But balance doesn't always need to be, you don't need to always be so strict. You can't just say, it needs to be 25% this, 25%, 25% this. You just need to know how you can manage it and what makes you feel good. And then that's your balance, what makes you feel good. So that's pretty much it.
I guess footy for you as well. You find great joy in that and that's an outlet.
Yeah, it is an outlet.
Finding
and it's
outlets.
Also, it's not an outlet, but it's also you got your mates that play footy and you also, if you enjoy it, then it does help. So, having a team sport, I guess, if you want to be, if you want to be a support worker and you play rugby league, soccer, AFL, whatever it is, the flexibility of being a support worker definitely helps balance your lifestyle out, especially for me.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I just fully hijacked your question.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Your question now.
What is the most rewarding part about being a support worker for yourself?
I think that the most rewarding part is like just seeing like the little things that he or she will be able to do that, and they do it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not like a ha ha feeling. It's more of a like yes, I was able to allow them to do that, and their parent or carer may have struggled to do that because kids are also kids especially
Mm-hmm.
are very receptive to listening to other people, as are like me and you. Like, say for example, mum or dad tells us something, you're kind of like, yeah, whatever mum, yeah, whatever dad. But like if someone else tells you, you kind of listen because it's a third party opinion. So being able to get the participant to do something that their parents may never have thought it possible, that's probably the most rewarding part. And you go home after that day, and you just feel so accomplished. Like the accomplishment feeling of seeing someone else happy or succeed, especially given the fact that they do have a disability, like that is an extra, like, you know, you feel very happy. Like that is a massive motivator for me.
Yeah, I would agree. I think like little wins,
Yep.
like which is what you said.
Yep. Little
Even
wins.
a little example like when Cardi eats toast or like something like that. Like it's so small, but to us that's huge because he doesn't often do things like that.
Yeah, or like
Um,
de-escalating a behavior like
Yeah.
that you thought you may find hard, or the parent may find hard, but you kind of work out how I can regulate them or redirect them. That's a big thing. Being able to do that, and knowing the little trick to, okay, I can get him to stop having a behavior because I do so and so, and that's a really good feeling. So you can kind of communicate with the parent. Okay, I do this. Maybe you can try this, and if it works for them, they're like, "Oh wow, that's so cool. Thank you so much." So that's for me. That's a massive motivator in being able to help.
yeah, and just obviously going off your answer in terms of carers and parents and things like that that can see accomplishments happening. Happening.
Happening.
We got a question saying my mum struggles to get her daughter who has a disability ready every single morning and won't ask for help because it's her job.
Yes. So
Can you touch a little bit about, why support is necessary or why
Yes.
it's okay to ask for help?
Yeah, so that's what I was pretty much going to touch on. Like, I think a big thing is it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for a support worker to help you. Doesn't make you any less of a parent. That's what support workers are there for. It's okay to ask for. We know, especially like us from, past experiences, we know that there is struggles in it. Hence why, that's why there is a job of a support worker. Same as like people are going to get sick. Hence why there are doctors. So support workers are there to help families, and it's okay to ask for help, and doesn't make you any less of a parent. You just, it's actually quite important to ask for help because there's a lot of factors that come into it. There's mental health. There's you need your own time as a parent, and you need some alone time. Whether it's whether you're struggling or not, your downtime is very important. So having downtime, especially as a parent with a disability, let alone a parent of a mainstream child, it's so important. So yeah, to ask for help, I couldn't recommend it any higher. And we are more than happy to help. And no one judges or looks down or anything like that. There's no passing judgment. Like, this is what we're here to do, and that this is why we do it. Not only to help the participant that we have, but it's to help the families too. So that's a massive reason why we do what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even, us as support workers, we are always there to help. But I think it's okay to ask family, siblings, just if you need a hand in the morning for 5 minutes, you'd be surprised. They'd be more than happy to do it. It's like even my mum, like she's not even, and she always wants to come and see the kids because, they love it and they don't have, they don't deal with the everyday struggles as much as you do. So you'd find that they'll be more than happy to help you out.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, that's why we're all happy to do it. Like, it's more than a job. And, as a lot of our support workers will tell you, like, they love coming into work. So any hours that, people need, we're more than happy to supply them. So
Yeah.
no, that's very true. The next question I'm going to ask is, do your support workers have any training in disabilities before they work with clients? Another great question. Like, obviously, when your child goes out with a support crew, you want to know that they have the training and they know what they're doing. So great question.
Yeah. So obviously, when a new support worker starts with us, we like to do buddy shifts. So a buddy shift is basically when a new support worker goes with an experienced support worker and kind of learns the ropes. So we actually did one with one of our support workers the other day with one of our tougher participants. by tougher, we just mean more behaviors, things like that. And that was really important for us. So, when they do go out by themselves, they know exactly what to do. And, they have a little bit of experience with that as well. It also gives our parents peace of mind knowing that our support workers will have a buddy shift and they will do everything to what Aiden and I are happy with.
Yeah, and just to touch on that question, like it's all good and well to do your Cert 3 in disability and have your first aid and have your police check and your screening check and tick all those boxes, but nothing is more valuable than having experience. So to throw them straight into support work and give them a buddy shift and say, hey, this is what we do and this is what the participants like, and really give them a bit of experience before they do it themselves, that's a huge tick for us, and that's what really helps us and creates a stronger team, I guess.
Yeah.
And they get to learn the ropes, and our support workers are very good in handing over information and handing over what we do and teaching what we do. So that's a big yes.
Also as well, I'll just add that we have behaviour reports and we have blurbs of all of our participants before any support worker has them. So it's up to them to read through what behaviours they have, any allergies, or anything they may like to do or may not like to do, what's going to set them off. It's up to our support workers to read that and act on that. So that is a must before any shift.
Yeah, and a big thing is no one's really left in the dark. Like we have a group chat where we all talk about what happened during the day, or if anything has occurred, and my phone's always on, Indy's phone's always on, other support workers' phones are always on, so that you can always ask questions if you're unsure. And parents are very helpful, but but before they have a participant for the first time, obviously everyone's quite helpful in being able to make sure that they have a good start to their first shift with that participant.
Absolutely. And touching on that, we have another question that says, it's amazing you have young, keen, vibrant workers available. Finding good staff is really hard, we know. So do you want to touch on, obviously, I know we've spoke about this briefly in our first episode, but just about staff, why you pick them, what you look for, and how we find really good staff.
Yeah, I find staff based on how they approach me. So obviously if they approach me with really, high energy and I want to do this job because, I have a brother who's got a disability and, or a sister who's got a disability, and, it's something that I've grown up with, and I want to help, and I have a lot of experience in that industry, in that area, or someone who says, your team looks great. I'd love to be a part of it. Like, you guys look like you really care, and that type of language. That's how we find our good staff. And a lot of staff that have been really successful, they'll have a lot of initiative. So once I give them a opportunity to be a support worker, they show great initiative. So the ones that have stayed on and done really, really well, they are very creative. They pick what they want to do for the day before they even get there. They're like, I've got a great idea because I know this participant. I know that this is what they love, and I'm going to give it a go with them. Mm-hmm. They're the people who do really well. So that energy creates the vibrant, fun staff that we have. So that's a big yes in choosing our staff and choosing staff to stay on with us.
Yeah, absolutely. You're so right. Like, the staff that do well are the staff that want to be there and they have initiative. And, they don't just rely on what Aiden says to do every day. They're excited. And obviously we have a great amount of trust in our staff. And I think picking staff, obviously you got to have a good idea on people and, good people and what you look for in staff. How do you monitor that? Like, when you meet someone, what do you look for other than those?
It's hard. Like, you always got to give people a chance. Like, sometimes, I'll be honest, we've got support workers. When I first met them, I was like, a bit unsure, and they've absolutely knocked it out of the park, and vice versa. I've met people who have wanted to come to Our Choice and ended up, not being the right fit, or ended up just leaving because, it doesn't really fit their personality or how they go about things, which is so fine as well. Like, it's very each their own. However, it's more what you do when you work at Our Choice and show me how you want to support the participant. That's how I judge a person, I guess. And I don't really, by judging, I don't mean I judge people, but I definitely watch and observe. So that's a big yes for us. But we also got another little nice message as well, saying the difference you must make for the participants, but also their carers/parents, is priceless. If you want to just touch on that a little bit, what's it like seeing a parent, what's it like when you hear a parent say to you or send you a nice text, or when you drop them off saying, thank you, or that means a lot to me, or you know, you have no idea how much of an impact you've made on us as a family.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? And is that priceless?
That feeling is priceless. Yeah, when you feel like you've helped a parent or a carer of a child you really, really care about, it's it's amazing. Like it makes you emotional, it makes you proud, it makes you all these things, and that's because obviously, I mean, I'm passionate when I do what I do. I do it because I want to see the best for these kids. Like it's not just a job. It's like you want to see them succeed in life, and how can we help that? So when a parent acknowledges that, it's like it's priceless, isn't it? Like the feeling you get when someone says you're doing a good job, like I'm really grateful, is amazing, because I just think like these carers and these parents deserve the absolute world. Like the things they have to go through, it's a full-time job. Like supporting a child with a disability is a full-time job, and for them to trust us enough to let us support their child and also be grateful and give you, a positive message back saying thank you, and they're grateful and they're appreciative is amazing. Like it's the best feeling in the world. That's why you do it.
Yeah, exactly. And you never really do it for the accolades. So when you do get that odd message, like it does make you feel like quite special in the time, because you're like, wow, like I am making a difference. And they're the moments. So like, I probably don't choose this job to be like, I want praise and I want this, but it's the private messages between yourself and a parent, or, someone telling me that a support worker's done a really good job for them. They're the little things. Like we always keep touching on this. Like it's always the little things that make it better. There's no real big moments. It's just small. It's like a little ladder. Like you just climb it, and you finally get there, and they say thank you, or they tell you how much it means to you, and that's the really cool part.
Yeah. Do you know what even else is really cool? Like when you feel like you've built, because I always say this to parents, like when we do our meet and greets and things like that, sometimes it might be a little bit of trial and error to see who your child likes or who they have a strong bond with. And we'll always work that out, because again, not everyone's going to gravitate towards everyone. Like people have their different things that they like. So like I remember when I went and picked up one of our participants, and he saw my car coming, and his mum said to me, oh my gosh, he was so excited when he saw that it was your car. Like the tiniest thing like that, I've not stopped thinking about, because I'm like, oh my God, I've done it. Like he loves me. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's, because you want to have those connections, and you won't have them with all of them, and they won't have it with you, or not all of them will have it with you. They'll have people that they gravitate to, but that's what makes it so beautiful. And that's why you have different types of support workers who like to do things different way, because there'll be one or two or three, or if you're lucky, all of them that, that really gravitate towards you, and they get so happy to see you. And that just like is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, it is. And that's how you build rapport. And that's how you end up loving your job so much, because you do anything for that kid and that family once you build that nice rapport. And like, then it starts extending to people in the community and people at cafes and when you go on a walk, and people say, oh, I love when you do this. And I loved how you guys went to the water park, and oh my God, it looks so much fun when you guys went jet skiing, and you start getting that little bit of acknowledgement of the things you're doing is not always like, we're doing things a bit outside the box. And people recognize that stuff. So, that can be also quite cool as well. Like
nothing hits like a parent though.
Nothing hits like nothing hits like a parent, but like just that people are acknowledging like that these kids are doing some cool stuff.
Yeah.
I really love that.
Totally.
So no, that's been awesome.
Absolutely. And just touching on that, someone asked, what inspires you to be the best disability service in New South Wales?
So
well, thank you for that, because we weren't out here claiming that.
No, I'm not self-proclaiming the best disability service in New South Wales, and I don't think I ever will. But I do aspire to be a great service. I've always, like, especially in New South Wales, like I know Sydney like the back of my hand. So there's always fun things that we can keep doing. But like I've touched on in previous episodes, I don't really want to compete with other disability services. There's so many out there that are great. Like everyone will find their cup of tea. Everyone will find the right support worker. Everyone will find the right service that will help your family and their needs. But what I do want to be is I do want to be a safe place. I want our choice to be a safe place for families that are with us. I want them to build trust with us. And I just want to provide a good service where everyone's needs are met and they feel comfortable enough to tell me, hey, like, my child needs this. Can you do that for us? And if we can, then do it to the best of our ability. So I just want to be a really good service for the participants that we have. And I know what we provide and I know what we do. So, yeah, I just want to be able to provide that for other families. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't want anything else. I don't want to be the best. I don't want to, put my hand up and say like, you have to come to us. We're so good. Like nothing compares. I just want to, be a service where everyone's happy and everyone within the service knows what they're getting and don't feel uncomfortable enough to ask, hey, I need this from you guys. Can you provide it? And like I said, do it to the best of our ability each and every day.
Yeah, I love that you say that, like, because I agree. Like, I think other services, like, they're all amazing and we all offer different things, and that's what makes us all different and special, and that's why everyone goes to different companies or whatever. And you're always big on like, you know what, if our company suits you, then that's amazing. Like, we're so happy and we're happy to work with you. But yeah, like obviously there's no.
Yeah. Like when I meet parents for the first time, like obviously we'll touch a bit on meet and greet. So
yeah,
like when we meet kids for the first time or they want to come on board with us at our choice, we'll go and come and meet you and put a face to the name and just say, hey, I'm Aiden. Or this is Indy. Like we pretty much, direct and manage our choice. This is what we do. This is a service we provide. And I'll never force our choice down your throat. If you like what you see or you like what you hear, that's exactly what we do. But if you don't, I'm also okay with that. Like I'd never want someone to be with us and feel uncomfortable. Like that's the last thing I'd ever want. So if you feel comfortable enough to go with us, I'm more than happy for you to. And if you feel like another service would provide something else, again, like I'm sure they will. And everyone does a really good job. So I feel like anyone who does support work is deep down, great person. Mm-hmm. So hats off to all the support services out there.
That's it.
Especially our choice.
You had to chuck that in there, didn't you?
Yes.
Perfect. And I think this is our last question that we'll ask. But what are the long-term goals for Our Choice?
Long-term goals for Our Choice. When someone asked this, I had a bit of a think about it, but definitely the long-term goal is to open up interstate. I think that's our big long-term goal. I do want to expand eventually. You can only do so much in New South Wales as of there's only a limited amount of participants. And we've had a lot of people reaching out to us and say, there's participants interstate that need support and probably don't have the facilities to be able to do that right now. But that is a long-term goal. Like that's something I want to do. And there's a lot of people needing what we have here down in New South Wales in interstate. So to take that over there and do it over there. There's probably services like us. I'm not saying that we're the only people who do this in New South Wales, but there needs to be more of it in other states of Australia, especially as there might mainly be, I've talked to some people, there's only two really good ones, up in, just making up, but up in the Northern Territory or Queensland or whatever. And yeah, there's definitely room for more, 4, 5, 6 good support services. So definitely opening up interstate would be a long-term goal for us, I think. But at the moment, I think I touched on this in the first podcast, but I'm more than happy doing it in New South Wales for now, and I'm really enjoying it, and everyone's enjoying it, and it's running really nicely. So we'll just stay put for now, but that's definitely on our minds. So we're not disregarding anyone interstate.
Perfect. No, we're excited for the future, and we are so happy with where we're at now, and we, obviously we continue to keep looking at growing in New South Wales and especially Penrith. I feel like we've really grown out here and it's been really cool. I actually had a lady come up to me and say, oh, I've been seeing you guys everywhere. I've never seen anything like this before. And when I first started dating Aiden, I said, wow, I've never seen anything like what you do in Penrith. And then obviously he's from the Shire, so we've been in the Shire and I've seen a few companies. I'm like, this is sick. Like, so the fact that obviously it's growing and more people wanting to do it, I think is really cool because I've never really seen it before.
Yeah, Indy's a big reason of why it's come out to Penrith. So all the kids are being supported out here and getting a good service. That's thanks to Indy. She really said, like, I haven't seen anything like this out here. So to bring it out here and for it to do so well, like there's definitely room for, you know, more support everywhere, still in New South Wales.
Yeah.
But no, like it's like the community that it's created, I still can't touch on that enough. Like, you know, it does make me very emotional. Like when especially people come up to you and say, I've been watching this and I have absolutely no idea who they are, but it puts a smile on my face and I just say, oh, thank you. Like I was in Maroubra the other day and someone said, oh my God, I love what you do. I just recognize you from your podcast. And I was like, holy moly. Like that feels really cool, you know, like that someone's taking the time to listen, coming up and saying, you know, I love what you guys do and is really invested in like how much of a, you know, a change it's making in the community, which is good. So it's very community based, very, it's growing and we're enjoying it quite a lot.
Yeah.
You guys have asked some really cool questions. I've loved receiving all the questions. I love going through all the nice comments that you guys write on all the reels. I hope it brings a smile to everyone's face. It certainly does to me. And we love making them. We absolutely love making them. And what you see is what you get. We do a lot of filming and a lot of putting it up on the social media, but we definitely never get a participant and say, stand there, take a photo and see you later.
Impossible.
It's impossible.
They wouldn't do it.
They would never do that. So like literally it's so hard to capture all the good moments, but the ones that we get, I just watch it over and over and over again because like watching them do things for the first times or seeing them with a smile and then being able to go back that night and sit with Louis and do it on the computer or, you know, on my phone and just watch them have that great moment for the day. That's another thing that's so rewarding about the job. I think, you know, being able to go back and watch it, like the power of phones and social media and being able to recap moments. Oh, look what we did 2 years ago. Oh my God, look how much they've changed. And look what they're doing now. Like that's really cool.
Even touching on that, a lot of our participants will watch it like on their parents' phones or their iPads and things. And that's the best because I'm like, for them to be able to look back at what they've done or what their friends are doing that day that they might not be there, they love it. Like, especially Chins.
I know. I've got a little story for everyone, right? So one of my boys, one of my beautiful little boys, he can't type and he can't speak. He's nonverbal and he doesn't know how to look things up on the internet, but he watches YouTube. So he clicks the YouTube app and watches videos. Anyway, he doesn't sleep much. So he goes on his iPad at night. He has a sleeping disorder and he can't sleep at the best of times. But he was on his iPad and his dad sleeps next to him, right? And he woke up at 3 a.m. and he goes like, what the hell is that? And he looks on the iPad and he's watching the Beyond Barriers podcast at 3 a.m. Mind you, this boy cannot type. He cannot speak, but he managed to find it. And he's sitting there. He's not, because sometimes he will just change the video. He's watching the whole podcast and listening to our voices and going like this and putting the iPad close to his ear because he can hear Indy and Aiden's voice. So that's a cool story.
That's
for
pretty
you.
epic. I know. It's so cute. And like even when Sam says that Cardi will watch it or when Pat said that, like obviously because they have their night routines and things like that, and he'll watch like all the videos and get like all hyped up, and then it takes him ages to get him to sleep because he's so excited about it.
The power of videos and photos are awesome. So like that's a thing. That's a big thing that we do. Like lots of happy snaps. Making sure that the parents are receiving the photos and the good times, and you know it's good for them to recap and be like, oh my God, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
And we just wanted to say a massive thank you to all of you guys for listening as well. It definitely doesn't go unnoticed, and we're so, so grateful that we're building a little community here, and to everyone that asks questions, and we hope we did you proud, and we'll continue to answer them every so often.
Yeah, and
not sure when, but
we'll answer as many questions as we can when you send us a message.
So continue asking because we'll do another one of these if anything.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Yeah, or if you have any questions even about people that come on, like we're more than happy to kind of go to them and ask them and reread their answers for you as well. Yeah,
absolutely. And we just finish off with, one more thing. I was wearing my Els inspired All Blacks jersey. A little shout out to Jet. Jet is now finishing up at Our Choice. God love him. He's going over to the New Zealand Warriors for 3 years and he's a big part of Our Choice and we're going to miss him dearly. A lot of the kids absolutely adore Jet. So, we're going to miss him so much. And he was such a big part of Our Choice for the last, 6 to 8 months. And the impact that he's had on some of these like kids' lives. It makes you feel a bit teary because like to have someone come into your company and really, try and be exactly how I am with the kids and follow what like, what I do and really immerse yourself and what he's done with them in his own special way and the way that the parents trust him and absolutely adore him. I couldn't thank him enough for everything he's done, and he's changed more lives than he could ever realize. So we wish Jet the best of luck over
Holy
in his,
rap.
Sorry, I'll never do that again to you, Jet, but I just wanted to say thank you. I think it's a good platform to just say thank you so much, and everything he's done for our choice. I cannot thank him enough. So
We'll miss you, Jetty.
We'll miss you, and good luck in New Zealand. And for our listeners, we hope he does well, and make sure you support him and get around him because he's a special kid. So there you go.
Fabulous.
You won't ever hear me say that at home, but last thing,
let's wrap it up.
we'll wrap it up. Give me your quote. We have a quote that we do at the end of every episode, and it's Indy's turn to give us your life quote.
Yeah, so I have two. One that I always say to Aiden, I always say, protect your peace. By that, I mean, it's so important to do what makes you happy. Don't sweat the small stuff. Like, just really protect your peace and what makes you happy, and don't get involved in rubbish. Like, just do what makes you happy. Protect the peace. I always say it to A. PYP. Protect your peace.
Protect your peace.
Yeah, so that's been one of our life mottos. And then also we always say we are in control of how long we let things affect us for. Obviously in this job and in life, things will come up that you can't control. And it's up to us how long we let that bother us for. So, it's about protecting your peace and not letting things bother you for too long, because life is too short.
Yeah, life is too short. That is very good.
Thank you.
And hopefully that motivates someone. And if someone listens this long, which we hope you do, that's a very good inspiring information that you've just given us. So thank you
very much. Well, thank you for this episode. It was actually nice to sit back and have a little chat. Next week, you won't hear us chat as much, so lucky you guys.
I know. All right, well, that's it for episode 5 of Beyond Barriers, the podcast, and we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next episode.
Bye.
Bye.